And we're going to just pause for about another 2 or 3 minutes while we wait for a few people to join us. We're going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. Councilman Lennon, if you'd be so kind.
Thanks, sir. Let us stand. Let us pray. Gracious Father, once again, thank you for another day, for allowing us to come and serve your people. And Father, as we go through this season, Father, we understand, Father, there will be some frustration, there will be some sadness time, Father, because there will be some people that's not around the table with us anymore. And Father, we're just asking, if you will, Father, just to give us the peace and the comfort, Father, that come from nowhere but from you, Father. And Father, we know that this year and this season, Father, is a joyous occasion. But Father, help us to understand that our joy doesn't come from the things that we see, the things that we feel, the things that's around us. But our joy, the source of our joy, comes from you, and it comes down from above. So Father, just keep us focused on of all the things that you have done for us. and all the things, Father, that you're about to do for us, Father, and all the things that you're doing for this city, and this administration, Father, and this council, and this mayor, and everybody who lives in this city around there. Continue to watch over us and bless us, Father. And as we go through this meeting, Father, just keep us mindful that we're not doing this for any purpose of ours, but we're doing it, Father, to glorify your holy name. And we just thank you tonight. And we ask this in Jesus Christ that we pray. And we all say amen.
Amen.
Salute, pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Call of order. Councilman London.
Present.
Councilwoman Cuellar.
Here.
Councilman Box.
Here.
Councilman Sims.
Here.
And myself present. At this time, I would look for a motion to approve the minutes from the regular council meeting on December 1 of 2021.
Make a motion to approve the minutes for the regular council meeting on December 1st, 2021.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any
One
abstentions?
Just one abstention.
Understood. Thank you,
Yes.
sir. Let's see here. At this time, we look for a motion for the approval of the current bills for payment.
Motion for the approval of current bills for payment, the amount of $153,331.01.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None opposed. At this time, we will look for any professional or our consultant reports this evening. Fair enough. Mayor, this is your turn. We look forward to your report, sir.
All right, thank you, Council President Spivey, for giving me this opportunity to be able to share with our fantastic audience that is with us tonight. I have about 4 things that I'm going to discuss, and then I have a couple of presentations to make, so I'm going to go ahead and do the verbal part first, and then I'll come down and do the presentations. I had a chance on last Thursday to be able to deliver funds to the Exceptional Foundation. It was a part of a discretionary fund that we did in FY 2021. They were very excited to be able to receive those funds and that the city had invested in their organization. When I was there, the kids were getting ready to go on a field trip. Well, they're really not kids, they're adults. They were getting ready to go on a field trip, so I got a chance to be able to shake their hands, and they were kind of tripping because the mayor was over there, but we had a good time and we had a chance to be able to give them that donation. I left the Exceptional Foundation and I went to Jefferson County to speak to the Jefferson County Board of Education to let them know how the city of Irondale is committed to doing things in the school system and the funds that we have provided, as well as the funds that we have for the upcoming fiscal year. I would like to thank Ms. Donna Pike. She invited me to come and to be able to share at their board meeting to let them know how the city of Irondale looks at the schools as being Irondale schools and not Jefferson County schools, because that's not the question that people ask when they're getting ready to move into the city. Today I had a chance to be able to go and to be a judge at the spelling bee that they had at Grantswood Community School. It was I enjoyed it. They had first graders, 1st through the 5th grade, that were spelling some words that I would have had to pull out my telephone to be able to spell. So, yeah, are we smarter than a 5th grader or 1st grader? I guess sometimes we are not that smart. But Aaron's son participated in the spelling bee, and I think he was like the number 6 kid standing, Aaron, out of about 20 or 25 kids. So I enjoyed doing that. Also wanted to give you an update on the paving project. I would say that everything is going extremely well. I drove through Stone Ridge last week, and they really did an awesome job with paving that area up there. They've also done some crack sealing over on the Holiday Garden side. They're also paving out here on First Avenue, so if you got here before it got dark, you would see that they started over there, and eventually they'll get over to the north side. I was riding on the north side the other day, and you need a 4-wheeler to be able to navigate on that side. But they'll be over on the north side finishing up some paving there, and they've also started an old Overton Trail. They've replaced almost all of the storm drains there. And then after completion of that, they'll have an opportunity to be able to start paving there. So I want to thank the council for allocating funds to be able to allow us to be able to do it. You really don't think about it until you get a chance to be able to see it. I'm really looking forward to phase 2, which we hopefully will be able to do that around June or July, or I'll bring it to the council around June to July for you all to consider phase 2. Hopefully the money from Washington will be distributed by then, and we can use those funds to be able to get those streets done as well. My first presentation is for Heidi Kids. Heidi has a blessing box here in the city of Irondale. People drop off food there to be able to feed those that are not as fortunate as we are. I saw a post that she had placed on Facebook and responded to it. I already met Heidi. I met Heidi when I was actually running for office in 2020. I had a chance to be able to stop by the barbershop and to be able to chat with her. And there's a lot of things that go on in that barbershop too. So if you're a politician, you want to be connected to that barbershop. You can find out a lot of stuff that's going in Irondale that you can't find out that's going in City Hall that you can't find out that's going there. So I allocated $2,500, and Councilman Spivey participated as well. Heidi had came by and picked up the real check, but she wanted to take a picture with the fake check. So we invited her to be able to come tonight to be able to, Heidi, if you want to say a few words, and Lee, do you have it's behind me? Okay, then I'll bring the fake check since you have the real check. You can speak at the microphone right there.
Mr. London also helped us with our funds.
Okay.
And Spivey and Mayor, and we use those funds not only for our blessing box, but also just for our Christmas sponsored program, which sponsored 75 Irondale children that attend the Irondale schools, and an additional 15 children not in the school system. Maybe they live in Irondale, but they're not school age yet. And we also use some of that money for what you guys saw at the Christmas at the Caboose, where we put on the snow and the crafts and all of that. So that's where our city funding went. Hopefully, we'll be able to do a little bit more. We still saved some of it. So maybe we have some more in store for y'all. But thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right. Dave.
Okay, she's the face of Heidi's kids. Right. Stand here. Mr. Spivey's here. All right, thank you, thank you.
My bad.
That's fine. I'd like to call Police Chief Wiggins. I don't know why I still want to call you Lieutenant. Well, I think I've been knowing you long as Lieutenant as I asked Police Chief. So I asked Police Chief Wiggins to come to the front and to be able to, he wanted to make some presentations for the police department.
Through the year, we recognize an officer of the quarter for the job they do, the performance on the streets, not only going to the business of the residents, and the professionalism and how they carry themselves. And tonight, we have 3 of the 4. One of them is a little under the weather. We got 3 of the 4 that have been awarded officer or recognized for officer of the quarter this year. And we have a little something we wanted to give them. So, okay. So we wanted to recognize those officers for the job they've done for us here at Irondale. The first one is Otto Donkey. There, you want to hang it to him? Hang it to him. Come here.
to say anything, Jackson?
There you go.
That's all right, sir.
The second one is Connor Capel.
That's good. Chief, scoot over a little bit. There we go. Very good.
And third is Jonathan Page for the fourth quarter this year. Daryl Merchant was recognized for the third quarter. He's a little under weather than not. But Jonathan Page for the fourth quarter.
You gotta say something.
Great. Hey, I'm happy to be here. It's been nothing but great since September. I'm just happy to be here.
He just got transferred, that's why.
I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Sorry. Congratulations. One other thing we wanted to go ahead and recognize too is Officer of the Year. We selected from the 4 Officer of the Year, and this year is Officer Adodaki.
He's got to say something now. You can't get out of this one. Give him the microphone. You got to say something.
Okay. No, it's all right. All I can say also, like Officer Page did, is I'm happy to be here. I appreciate admin and the city giving me every opportunity to be here and to make a difference in the community. And makes a huge difference in my life, being able to do the thing that I love. And I'm happy to serve the community here. And I hope y'all keep me around.
Mayor, I have one announcement I'd like to make.
Oh, okay.
And somebody we want to recognize and just thank for their years of service here. We have officers leaving us. And after 30 years of service, 20 years plus with Irondale, Sergeant Mangina is retiring in February. And we just want to thank him for his time with us and serving the city as our face for TV for Irondale. And come on up here, let you say something, Mike.
I'm not signing your paper. I'm not signing your paper.
See, now I'm going to be like you, and they're going to make me cry. But, you know, well, thank you. I think I've had a pretty cool career, and it's about time to call it quits. And I'll be moving to Florida, where I'll be working for Walt Disney World.
Wow.
Oh, you about to
No,
get
so
a job.
that's the truth.
So you leaving vacation, going to work.
So I sure do appreciate it. I've enjoyed my time here, and this is an awesome department. And I'm going to miss a lot of these guys. But thank you so much. And, you know, I came from Mountain Brook, too, and everybody said that I made a mistake coming to Irondale, but I really didn't. It was the best move I ever made. So thank you.
I do have one question for you. Do you think we're going to make it to Buc-ee's for lunch before you leave in February?
I promise we will.
Okay.
We'll go.
All right.
Thank you, Mayor.
That's kind of like a running joke between Officer Mangina and myself. That's all I have tonight, Council President Spivey.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for that. And for all the officers tonight, we thank you for the work you do in your community. For those that are recognized, great job. For those that are with us, we appreciate the service. And Officer Mangina, it has been a pleasure. This short amount of time that I've known you, it's been an absolute pleasure. So Godspeed, and I'll be sure to reach out to you in a couple years when I need to get those discounted Disney tickets. Thank you, sir. All right. At this time, we would be looking for any reports from our department heads.
here to announce the annual SWMPP, which is our stormwater management program plan, is up for review and comment. The comment period ends 5 p.m. on December the 29th, 2021. If you have any comments, you can get them in before then. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other department heads would like to deliver a report tonight? Okay. Let's see here. That being said, Councilman London, your report, sir.
Real quick, Mangina's left, but he's just been a great officer for our city, and I know we're gonna really hate to have to lose him in our city. So if you can hear me back there, we just want to say thank you from the city council, Mangino. But he's leaving vacation, going to work. I don't understand that. He's been on vacation for 20 years here. Now he's going to work. But anyway, I just want to say Merry Christmas to everybody. And Mayor, I noticed the paving project's going on. Thank you, and thanks to the council for this happening. Thank you, guys.
Councilwoman Cuellar?
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here. A lot of things took place over the last week and a half. For those that came out to the Christmas at the Caboose event, I'd like to thank Julie Gardner and the Chamber of Commerce board members who were involved in putting on the event. I'd also like to thank the public works staff and our first responders who were there to serve all of those that were coming to the event. I'd also like to thank the Exchange Club that provided Santa Claus, and we're giving out hot chocolate and cookies to everyone that came out. They do a great job in the city, and I really want to thank them for that. And also I'd like to thank the Friends of the Library that support our library, who had, guess how many books it took to make this Christmas tree, as well as other trivia. They did a great job with that, and it was just a great event. On a separate note, I'd like to thank the building inspector and his staff. They have been very busy, as many of you know, with a lot of the projects that are going on in our city right now, and they have done a great job, and I'd like to thank them for that. The other thing that took place today, very exciting for Irondale, was the Chevron Taco Bell Pizza Hut. David Collins opened up. It's been a bittersweet process for him. He's had several delays. It took him over 2 years to open it up, but the good news is that it opened up today, and they got a very good response from our community in Irondale, as well as people that were traveling on the road and saw that they were open. So I want to congratulate them on opening up, and if you haven't been by there, go check him out, because he's really done a great job and offer a lot of things that you will not see in most convenience stores. The other thing I'd like to talk about, many of you heard about the Siesta Motel property. I've given copies. David Pugh was going to update our council, but he had another engagement tonight, so he wasn't here to update the community as well as our council members. And I've handed out copies of his report to our mayor and the rest of the council, as well as our city clerk. And I'm going to read you what he has to say so that you're aware of what took place. On Thursday, December 9th, 2021, the Siesta Motel was sold at auction. The property was purchased for $410,000 by Graham and Company, which is a Birmingham-based developer. Although the auction was not advertised as absolute, it was converted to absolute after the bids exceeded approximately $300,000. Now, what absolute means is that the auctioned item must be sold to whomever is the higher bidder. Otherwise, the owner reserves the right to reject all bids. Now, the CDA participated in the auction, and they were represented by Jeff Summer with Retail Strategies. And the CDA had thoroughly deliberated on the value of the property, including the likely cost of the anticipated improvements required to comply with existing environmental issues prior to marketing the property for resale or development. And based on all the information available, the CDA decided not to commit to a price any higher than its available cash. This limited the CDA's highest bid to $400,000. At that level, the CDA was assured of at least being a market maker by requiring other bidders to bid higher if they wanted the property. But such a price would have put the CDA in a position of borrowing money to win the auction. So Mike Graham one of the contractors of Graham and Company, is a very experienced developer with a very good reputation. Graham and Company were believed to have been involved in some capacity in the Motion Industries project and the WeatherTech project. They know the area and are bullish on Irondale. And Mr. Graham has already spoken with our mayor, Mayor Stewart, and has spoken twice with David Pugh, our CDA board chairman, about the property and development possibilities. At Mr. Graham's request, the CDA provided copies of Phase 1, which is the environmental study report, and the asbestos survey, which the CDA had done in 2019 when they were looking at purchasing the property then. So the CDA is optimistic that Graham and Company will work together well with the city to develop a project that will enhance the area and increase the likelihood of further development. And Mayor Stewart, would you like to make some additional comments?
No, you covered it pretty well, Councilwoman McQuarrie.
Oh,
So,
you're welcome. We're very excited, and please keep all these things in your prayers, and this is, I think, is going to be something that will be good for our city. The last thing that I would like to, two things. First, I want to wish everyone a very blessed Christmas and a New Year. And lastly, and I don't know if I can bring this up now, Council President Spivey, but I'd like to schedule a water committee meeting for January the 19th. And the reason for that is our mayor and Jared Morris would like to update the council on the water system operations, as well as the management and capital plan for fiscal year 21 and fiscal year 2022. So if you can, I don't know if I can bring it up now, if we need to do this under other business, but I'd like us to check our calendars to see if we can have a water committee meeting at 5 p.m.
It has been brought up, so we'll deliberate on it. So that works for me. So
Okay, how about everyone else?
It's a possibility I'll be out of town, but I'll let you know for sure.
Aaron?
I'm good.
John?
You can check the calendar. That should be good that day.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. That concludes my report.
thank you. Councilman Box, your report.
Basically, ditto everything Councilwoman McQuarrie said. She kind of covers everything before I get to it. We may need to reverse the order sometime here, Council President. But no, these two, John as a senior member does a great job, and Cindy's very thorough on everything. So got nothing much I can add other than to reiterate her thoughts of Merry Christmas. I do have a couple of things. Hampton Place, we're still working on the issue that we've been talking about, and I've got that narrowed down. I'm just waiting on the company to give me the final developments there. Christmas was a wonderful time. I think the mayor had a special guest that came for the tree lighting there, and we had an unexpected guest that showed up with us, which I was shocked at, because that person normally doesn't attend functions. But hope everyone has a safe holiday season. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Sims.
As Councilor Box said, a lot of stuff's been hit. I'll just touch on a few things. Just want to add on this yesterday, I got to go to the auction. I toured it actually the day before. It's the first time I'd actually seen it in a while up close. But the purchasers got 40 days to close on the deal, which should be the 18th or 19th of January when everything gets finalized. I don't see a reason why they wouldn't. So excited to get to the 18th or 19th. See that they close, and again, no doubt they're going to bring something amazing to the city from a place that's been vacant for a while. Was at the spelling bee. My son was, I guess, in it. Without Santa Claus there, the mayor got a little bit more, I think, attention from the kids. He had some pictures afterwards of just him and some kids. So
I'm glad that's why you didn't come, Aaron, because he always steals the show whenever I take him.
The tree lighting was mentioned. It was great seeing so many people out for the tree lighting. Looking forward to us doing that again next year. So thank you to the mayor for putting that on and everyone that helped with that. The police department has left, but congratulations to all the officers of the quarter and of the year. And let's see, can't read my handwriting there. Oh, I saw a post on Facebook from one of our fireman who helped someone with a situation way, I think, way down 65. I can't remember what city, but that was good to see. So just the great employees we have at the city doing good stuff all over the state. It's just amazing. And I guess that's it. Everybody have a great, wonderful, safe holiday. Travel. If you're traveling, be safe. If you're not traveling, be safe. And we'll see you, I guess, early in January.
Thank you. Reiterating many of the, maybe I will change the order up just to put a little pressure on you guys to come up. But anyways, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, whatever holiday you observe. I hope it's wonderful to you and yours. To echo a bit about the Christmas at the Caboose and the tree lighting ceremony, it really. Those events don't make the season, but to us and our family, they brought a little extra joy to be able to get around, and I think that's probably one of the, other than maybe Whistle Stop, that's one of the few things we've been able to, or except some of the street parties that we've had. More of the story is we're getting back together again as a community, and I think that's just so vital, and I just love seeing it. So, Mayor's office, anybody that had a part of any of these types of events, we just really appreciate those, and just so happy to see the community building efforts and everything like that that's going on currently. Happy to see the repaving. Very, very excited about that. The water department did a great job of tearing up the Second Avenue North. So glad to see that that's getting fixed there. And then we look forward to all the additional progress and the other roads that will be paved here in the near future. So that is all I have for my report. Thank you. At this time, we'll be looking for any reports of boards and non-council committees. I don't believe we have anybody from the chamber or exchange. Okay, fair enough. We do not have any public hearings this evening. At this time, we'll begin our council deliberation on agenda items only. So on our agenda, it's labeled as new business, but this would be considered our consent agenda if everyone agrees. So we'll just go through them really quickly. We've got Resolution 2021 R161 authorizes the execution of a lease agreement with Quadrant Inc. in the amount of $6,971.40 for a postage machine at City Hall. Basically, the lease is up. We're just renewing the lease on the same equipment. Councilman Lennon, any questions on that?
No question.
Councilwoman Cuellar?
No questions.
Councilman Box?
No question.
Councilman Sims?
None.
And myself, no questions there. Second item under new business, Resolution 2021 R162 authorizes the execution of a lease agreement with Republic First National for 7 vehicles and 1 skid steer in the amount of $404,506.29 for the Water Department. Councilman London, any questions on this?
No question.
Councilman McQuarrie?
No questions.
Councilman Box?
No
And Councilman Sims?
None.
All right, myself neither. Item number 3, Resolution 2021 R163 authorizes the execution of a lease agreement with Republic First National for 2 F-150 trucks and equipment in the amount of $94,000 for building inspections. Councilman Lennon, any questions?
Yeah, the police department want to know, can they drive these trucks? Okay, all right. And that's the only thing comment I have.
Outstanding. Councilwoman Cuellar?
No questions.
Councilman Box?
Of course.
Councilman Sims?
None.
Outstanding. And myself, no questions there as well. Item number 4, Resolution 2021 R164 amends Resolution 2021 R125 to further authorize Mayor James D. Stewart Jr. to settle claims of the city against third parties and to execute documents related thereto. This was something that we passed a few months back. The main caveat on this is we're adding the language third party to it. Councilman Lennon, any questions on this?
No question.
Councilwoman Cuellar?
No questions.
Councilman Box?
I'm good.
Councilman Sims?
None.
Okay. And something I failed to mention, I apologize. There's the agreement still has to be signed by the council president and one other council member, so that stays the same. Item number 5, Resolution 2021 R165 amends Resolution 2021 R133 to appoint Lee Ann Allison as acting city clerk and treasurer of the city of Irondale. The caveat there being adding the treasurer to that. Councilman Lennon, any questions?
No question.
Councilwoman Cuellar?
No questions.
Councilman Box?
No question.
Councilman Sims?
None.
And myself, none. Congratulations, you got another job. Outstanding. Item number 6, Resolution 2021 R166, rejecting the sole bid received for the bridge replacement at Ransom Road, at the Ransom Road project, and authorizing the mayor to negotiate and enter an agreement related thereto. Basically, we received one bid for this project. It was just shy of $300,000 more than expected, so we're just rejecting that bid. Councilman London, any questions?
No question.
Councilwoman Quayle?
No questions.
Councilman Box?
No question.
Councilman Sims?
I just was curious if there's a timeline of trying to get back with them to do negotiating.
As soon as this resolution is adopted.
Outstanding.
No further questions.
All right. And myself, no questions on that as well. So that is the consent agenda. We'll talk about passing that here in a moment. But in regards to the regular agenda, we're facing 3 ordinances tonight. And we'll probably, for the first 2, we'll probably ask for some speakers to come up and kind of talk about that. These 2 are tied together. Item number 7, Ordinance 2021-25 authorizes the issuance of the city's taxable general obligation warrant series 2021A and approves various agreements and actions related thereto. I'm going to go ahead and read the next one. Ordinance 2021-26 authorizes the issuance of the city's taxable general obligation warrants, Series 2021B, and approves various agreements and actions related thereto. If someone could come up and kind of just fill us in a little bit. I think we have a pretty good understanding, but I know there's been some recent documentation that's been delivered to us.
Let you guys pass that around there.
I know, right? Freezing. Yeah, it's chilly. We'll survive.
Want to make sure everybody on Facebook can hear the good news, right, Councilor London?
That's right. Exactly right. Speak loud and clear and slow.
We'll do our best, but I'm
Real
from
slow.
Walker County, so no
Real slow.
guarantees on clarity there. Okay?
Real slow. And you have 5 minutes.
Okay. So what we've got here, what I've put together is just a bit of a summary of what we had today and what we did. As you guys know, we've been working over the last several months to refund multiple series of the city's debt. Rates have come down over time, and so what we're doing is we're just taking advantage of lower rates. We're not extending the maturities on the debt. We're not issuing new debt per se. We're just taking old debt like we would with our home mortgage, refinancing that at a lower cost and realizing some savings for the city. So on page 2 of the packet that I just passed around, you'll kind of notice the scale that we went out with. What I do want to do is just take a minute and go over the chart on the right of that page, which is just shows the principal amount of each maturity that we were selling for the 2021 A's and the principal amount for the 2021 B's. And then there's a column that says subscription on it. So if you look at the column that says subscription, that tells you how many times subscribed the bonds were in that particular maturity. So if we're selling $100,000 worth of bonds in a particular maturity and it says 1 times, that means we've got $100,000 worth of orders in that particular maturity. If it says 2 times, that would mean we've got 200,000. Just tells you kind of where the orders were for the bonds. I will say we had a lot of interest from banks on y'all's particular issue, and we had some interest from individuals. We also had some interest from some smaller insurance companies. So we had kind of a good mix of a few different types of investors. But you'll notice there are a couple of spots where we didn't have any interest at all. And, somebody asked me about that, and I just said, well, it's kind of like Goldilocks. You don't want it too hot. You don't want it too cold. You kind of want it just right. And so when you kind of have 1 time, slightly over 1 times, you kind of know that your interest rates are getting pretty close. Sometimes in a real busy market, you might have heavier order flow, but we had kind of Fed meeting. We're coming up on the end of the year, so we had several things there that just were working against us a little bit. But all in all, it turned out really well because we had enough orders to kind of complete everything today and put the finishing touches on the bond issue. So on page 3 and page 4, I'll go over the results of the bond issue. On page 3, you'll notice you can see where the existing debt over on the far left was and how much our payments were on that debt service. You can see what the new payments will be by looking at the column that's highlighted in green. So that's the new debt service after the refunding. And then the column in blue that's highlighted in blue shows what the savings were that were realized from the refunding. So the savings on this issue is $1,095,000 on a gross basis. That is after the cost of issuance, so you don't need to subtract that out. It takes into account things like legal fees, underwriter's discount, the rating agency has a fee. All of those fees are included in that number, so that's the net number to the city. Most of those savings were structured so that we could take those up front over the next few fiscal years. A $270,000 shot in the arm is a little bit better for the city than, say, $30,000. You can do a little bit more with that. You can get kind of a jump start on some capital needs and do a few things in your budget with that number. So we structure that over the next 4 years to kind of give us a little bit larger shot in the arm. And then after that, each year, it's about $10,000 in savings or so. So overall, on page 4, if you look at the summary there, these bonds carried a 2.17% interest rate. So we did refund 5 different series of bonds. Each one of those had different interest rates. Some were up in the 4%, 4.5% range. But each one of those had different rates. And when you blend all of that together, the Series 2017A and Series 2017B, you came up with a 2.17%. So you'll see the savings listed there on a gross and a present value basis as well. We always look for about 3 to 4% of present value savings as a percentage of the total par that we're refunding. And we wind up with 6.334% on this, which is a really good percentage. It's really, really strong compared to other issues out there in the marketplace. The only other thing I would say, 2 other things I would say about the pricing, and then I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. The bonds are fixed rate, so if the Federal Reserve starts to raise rates next year, we don't have to kind of worry about our interest rate going up, and so they're fixed until maturity. And then the second thing I would say is these bonds are callable in 2031. So if by chance we get to 2031 and rates are lower than where we are, we've got an opportunity to call those and refund them again out there in the future for more savings. So that being said, I think Rod may want to go over the resolution. Is that agreeable to you? Okay, we'll let him do that. If there are any questions on the numbers, I'm happy to answer them. You want me to answer them now?
Yeah, we can take it bit by bit. Councilman London?
I'll call you tomorrow.
Okay,
Yeah, 'cause I'm trying to be on I-20 by 7:10.
I understand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Councilwoman Cuellar?
We spoke earlier, so I'm good.
Good. Councilman Box?
Yeah, I've got a pretty good understanding. If anything
Yeah.
comes up as I look more at it, I'll give it a call.
Copy. Councilman Sims?
Thank you for all your work.
Thank you. We appreciate the opportunity.
I echo the same. Thank you, sir.
Thank y'all.
Yep.
Look, Rod Cantor, Brad Layer, Bond Counsel. I'll be brief. Matt went over all the good news. I will not bore you to tears with everything in front of you, but just like the ordinance that you approved back in September 15th, which thank you, approved so that we could get the bond validation done to get to today's pricing, we have 2 ordinances in front of you. One is to complete the pricing of those warrants that you previously approved, because now we have the pricing results. And the second is to approve the other series of warrants that didn't have to go through the validation. And that's what's in front of you. And the documents that you're approving in addition to the ordinance, or that are attached to the ordinance, are simply this: the offering statement that was used to sell the warrants today, an escrow trust agreement where money will be held and then used to pay off the warrants are being redeemed as they come due, and a continuing disclosure agreement, which essentially calls for the posting of your financial information, your audits in an annual fashion, and things of that nature. I was asked the last time I was here, can we get this closed before the end of the year? And I said yes. with some trepidation, this deal will close on December 28th. It's nice and terse and tidy. We're gotten pretty much everything signed. And so there's these two ordinances that are in front of you to approve. And before we finish, I have to thank you for your support and approval. That great financial result is a true reflection on how well the city is run, as Matt mentioned. Good savings, 3-4%. Y'all got 6+%, which is a true reflection on how well the city's run. Have to thank the mayor. We did a lot of work to get this financing in shape, to get this offering done, a lot of detailed information out to the market. So thanks to the mayor and staff and all of you for the support to get us to where we are today. It's a great result for Irondale. And I'm here for any questions on the ordinances.
Councilman London, any questions?
No, sir.
Councilwoman Cuellar?
No questions.
Councilman Box?
No question.
Councilman Sims?
None, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Nice way to hit the post, man. All right. So that was regarding items 7 and 8. Item number 9 would be ordinance 2021-27 amends Chapter 2, Article 4 of the Code of Ordinances of Irondale, Alabama, to modify the date of the regular meetings of the City Council effective February 1st, 2022 to the first and third Tuesdays of the month. Councilman Lennon, any questions on this?
No, sir.
Okay. Councilwoman Cuellar?
No questions.
Councilman Box?
No question.
Councilman Sims?
I was just checking the date of February the 1st. None.
Okay, gotcha. And I believe, Ken, that is
It
the
is a
first
Tuesday,
meeting.
yes.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. And myself, no questions as well. So we've gone through all of our items up for deliberation. That being said, I would ask for a motion to approve the full agenda in form.
I make a
Motion.
motion that we approve the full agenda in form.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. At this time, we would take any public any public comments on agenda items only. Any comments on agenda items only? Do we have anything? Okay, understood. Thank you. That being said, with no comments on agenda items only, I would ask for approval of the consent agenda.
Motion to approve items number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 on consent.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No opposed. Okay. That being said, that takes care of items number 1 through 6. If someone could go ahead and get ready to take us through the process for the regular agenda item number 7.
Are you gonna have public comments on the agenda items before we go through? Before we go through the process?
Yes.
I just called for him, I thought.
Oh, did you, I heard you call for chief, but I didn't.
I did call for it. No one piped up. Okay.
Thank you.
So we're good, right? Okay, cool. Right on. All right. So thank you for the speed bump. Sometimes we get to rolling downhill a little too fast, so thank you for that. That being said, could someone go ahead and get us started on ordinance 2021-25?
I make a motion that ordinance 2021-25 be considered read.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I make a motion that we suspend all rules that would prevent the immediate consideration of ordinance 2021-25.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call. Councilman London?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cuellar?
Yes.
Councilman Box?
Yes.
Councilman Sims?
Yes.
And myself, yes.
I make a motion that ordinance 2021-25 be approved and adopted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None. Thank you. If we could, if someone could go ahead and bring up ordinance 2021-26.
Make a motion that ordinance 2021-26 be considered read.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Make a motion that we suspend all rules that prevent the immediate consideration of ordinance 2021-26.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call. Councilman London?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cuellar?
Yes.
Councilman Box?
Yes.
Councilman Sims?
Yes.
And myself, yes.
And finally, I make a motion that we adopt and approve ordinance number 2021-26.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No opposed. And item number 9, ordinance 2021-27, please.
I make a motion that ordinance 2021-27 be considered read.
Second.
We We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye.
I make a motion that we suspend all rules that would prevent the immediate consideration of ordinance 2021-27.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call. Councilman London.
Yes.
Councilwoman Cuellar.
Yes.
Councilman Box.
Yes.
Councilman Sims.
Yes.
And myself, yes.
I make a motion that ordinance 2021-27 be approved and adopted.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No opposed. All right. That concludes our agenda for the evening. At this time, we would accept any public comments to the council on non-agenda items. Comments on non-agenda items. Okay. We have no comments to the council. At this time, I would take a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Goodbye, Councilman London. Drive safe.